I'm Antonio Gonzalez, and welcome to Strategy Session, my weekly review on politics and policy con un poquito de salsa. We're here at Mom's Tamales in Northeast LA in CD 34. This is the 8th episode of our special voter education series on the special election. As you recall, Javier Becerra served this district for more than 20 years. He's now the first Attorney General, first Latino Attorney General in California history. But back to the race. We're 5 days out from the April 4th primary. We're interviewing the top tier candidates for the race. And it's my pleasure to be here today with Wendy Carrillo, a well-known human rights advocate from the community. Wendy, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So Wendy, let me ask you, I got to ask you at the top of the show, you're running for Congress, a federal body which is, according to the voters, not well liked, although it's extremely important. It's in Republican hands right now, part of the unified government of President Donald Trump. Why do you want to run for this office?
Yeah.
First big question, why do you want to run?
Well, one, thank you for having me, and thank you for all of you watching. Why I want to run. This is the district where I grew up, where I live, where I have roots. And I think now more than ever, everyday Americans that believe in the future of this country, that believe in opportunity, that believe in the American dream, need to step up and run. Congress is mostly comprised of attorneys that have been doing that type of work for a long time and sometimes are incredibly disconnected with the realities of everyday people. I am an immigrant to this country. I'm formally undocumented. I took an oath to become a citizen of this country to protect the Constitution. And we now have a president that has no problem burning the Constitution, destroying the First Amendment, kicking reporters and journalists out of White House briefings because they're not covering him favorably or the way that he would like to be covered. As a journalist and as someone who has lived the experience that a lot of Republicans and even Democrats only talk about, I've lived it. So there is no one that can tell me the issues that this district and this country is going through because I have personally experienced it and lived it myself. And I think now more than ever, we need bold and unapologetic voices of the people to actually show up and lead in a way that's never been done before. This is the moment where we're at right now. We've never seen a moment like this in our country's history where we have a president that had a campaign on the backs of Mexicans, immigrants, women, LGBTQ folks, the black community, who encouraged the violence during his campaign. And now he's the leader of our country and is passing executive orders without caring for the people of this district or people of color throughout the country. So we need to step up, and I decided to do it and wasn't going to wait around for somebody to tap me on the shoulder and tell me that it was my turn.
Wait for the good old boys to put you in line.
Hey. Those days are over.
2 questions. It's a complicated race. There's a big field, 24 candidates. It's just after a presidential election when most voters stop paying attention, right? And so question A, or part A of this question is, how do you get your message out above the noise, above the chatter to an electorate that may be losing interest, right, in electoral politics? One. And then the sub B part of that is, how do you balance between voters here who, it's Northeast LA, it's a down-home district, want some local attention to local issues, versus this narrative, people are talking about this as a national referendum on, are the voters going to fight back against Trump? One, it's a Democratic district, of course, or within that, there's this fight between the Bernies and the Hillarys within the Democratic Party. How does this election reflect on that? It's a lot of balancing to do. How are you going to manage it?
That is there's a lot of answers to your multi-tiered
question.
It's all good. Multi-tiered question here.
You can just roll.
So here's the thing. My campaign and my story is getting national attention because it is a very unique moment in our nation's history where people talk about immigrants, they talk about undocumented communities, but we have yet to have a seat at the table. So if I were privileged to be elected into this seat, I would be the first formally undocumented woman in the House of Representatives. I would be the first Salvadorian American in Congress. This district includes Pico Union Westlake, which is the largest Salvadorian American community outside of El Salvador. And so my story right now resonates with people across this country, with millions of people across this country who feel that they are not represented, that they're living in fear. This district is 64% Latino. It is 49% foreign born. It is 33% of which cannot vote. It is a large population of students that rely on DACA, that trusted their government for them to be able to have a job and go to school, and now are fearful that they are on a registry with their name and their addresses and they can be targeted. And we have already started seeing that across the country. We are blocks away from Highland Park, a community in which a father was dropping off his daughters at school and was detained by ICE, wearing jackets that say police and ICE on them. His 13-year-old daughter recorded the entire thing on her cell phone. Can you imagine the trauma of that young girl seeing her father be hauled away for no reason? These are fears that our community is experiencing on a day in and day out. And so the fact that I am someone that once faced those same fears and my family faced those same fears, and now we're fortunate to have access to residency and citizenship, and that it is our obligation and responsibility to ensure that the next generation of immigrants coming to this country have those same opportunities. That is my fight. It is what I'm advocating for on every day, and what I think we need to take to Congress and be 100% unapologetic about, which is why my campaign, my story has gotten the attention of national media, which is why I was invited to participate at the Women's March on Washington.
I saw you.
I was the only candidate across the country that was afforded that opportunity because of my story, because of being formally undocumented, being an unrecognized refugee that fled war and violence in El Salvador, like many unaccompanied minors and children that are doing that right now. And we don't afford them those titles because those titles mean something. And so people are frustrated. They're marching in the streets. The Women's March was an example of that, of how millions of women across this country and around the world took to the streets advocating for women's rights. Why there's going to be a science march, why there's going to be an LGBTQ national march. So people are feeling something. And we need to make sure that that frustration, that anger, that anxiety, it doesn't just stay on the streets, which is important, but that we use the power to actually elect a new generation of leaders that can understand and advocate for those same issues and take the voices of the people to the halls of Congress. The idea of what happened during the primary and the general within the Democratic Party and who's Bernie and who's Hillary, we need to get past that. We are fighting a bigger fight against a monster and a giant that is against both of our communities. So we need to unify as a party. The Democratic Party needs to understand how frustrated people are within the party and do something to unify people together. The fact that there are 23 people running for this seat is a testament of the progressive values of the city of Los Angeles, the amount of incredible women, mujeres,
Tremendous
that are just
Tremendous
like, I'm in it, I'm gonna do it, and not be afraid and not, think, oh, it's not my turn. But if we had the type of candidates that we have in this race now across the country,
be amazing.
Oh my God, can you imagine? We'd have change much faster. And so this election is one of the first across the country. It'll set the tone for the 2018 midterms to ensure that whoever gets elected is progressive, has values, and that can really change the narrative of the Democratic Party so that we take back Congress in 2018.
You see, with so many candidates in this race, or I've seen as I've interviewed people, candidates sort of, whether consciously or unconsciously, putting themselves into niches. There's a commercial with one of the candidates, and it's like a women's health commercial, right? One of the other candidates says, I'm the candidate of children and families. Somebody else says, I'm the Bernie candidate. Somebody else says, I'm the working families candidate. And on and on. Do you have a niche that you're emphasizing? If you'd like to explain that, and if not, what is your branding, let's say, in quotes?
Well, in addition to my story, which I think is a story that I've actually have never told, in all the years that you've known me, I don't think you've ever knew that I was an undocumented child when I came to the U.S. or that my family fled war and violence and that we were unrecognized refugees, which is something that we're seeing across the country right now. If anything,
Meaning you came as quote-unquote immigrants, but you were really refugees.
Yes.
You know what you mean? Yeah.
Correct.
Very common in Central American scenario.
Especially during the 1980s, during the Civil War and everything that was happening in Nicaragua and Honduras and all of these places. I am a candidate that's an advocate for the American dream. I believe that this country is a country of opportunity, a country of what can be and should be, and that all people, regardless of where we come from, what we look like, or where we were born, have a right to freedom and opportunity. It is a foundation of this nation. And the idea that we have an administration that can tear that apart is my fight, and that's what I'm fighting against. And so I believe that all people have a right to the American dream, the pursuit of happiness, the pursuit of freedom, the pursuit of opportunity, and that it is our responsibility as people that have gained those opportunities, that have had success, that have achieved the American dream, regardless of what that looks like to you, that we fight to ensure that there is a next generation of people, whether they are immigrants or citizens of this nation born here, that have access to healthcare, to education, to jobs and opportunity, to be able to afford to buy a home. This is a district that is quickly changing, where homes are no longer affordable to the people that live here. So how do we fight for all that when it's becoming increasingly harder to obtain loans or to obtain the right to an education? These are all fundamentals. This country, the Constitution says, we the people, in order to form a more perfect union, means that this country is by no means defined. We get to do that. We get to change it. We get to change the course of this country, the narrative, and that is my fight. And I think it is a fight that is intersectional, that it includes people from all walks of life. Because at the end of the day, what do we want? We want to be safe. We want to be happy. We want to make sure that our families have a good future and that we have a good future in this country. That is my fight, and that's why I want to take the voices of the people of this district, regardless of the issues that they care about, and ensure that we are coming together, because it is only together that we win. We can't continue to fight in silos. We need to ensure that all of the communities are protected against an administration that cares very little about every minority community in this country.
We're at the time in the interview, Wendy, when I asked you to talk directly to the voters in the district and tell them why they should vote for you and how they can be involved with your campaign.
Yes, so thank you for watching. We have this delicious food from Mama's Tamales right here, and we haven't even gotten a chance to eat it, but it looks delicious.
It's calling us.
It looks delicious. I would encourage you to go to my website at votewendycarrillo.com or visit our Facebook page at Wendy Carrillo for Congress. Get involved in our campaign. We have just a few days left. Every dollar makes a huge difference. Every call that we make to a voter makes a huge difference. This is an opportunity to really send the resistance to Congress. When people talk about women, immigrants, undocumented communities, mixed status families, first generation college students, all of those things are comprised in my campaign. And they are the families of this district. They're your families, whether you're multi-generational American. They were the stories of your grandparents and your grandparents before them. And we have to ensure that the opportunities that we have had as people in this country are afforded to generations to come and to the people that currently live here. We are no longer a community that is going to maintain and be in the shadows. We are coming out. We're loud, bold, and unapologetic about where we stand in our progressive values and ensuring that all people, regardless of where they come from, regardless of circumstance, have access to the American dream. That is our fight, and that is what we're going to take to Congress, and that is why I'm asking for your vote and your support this Tuesday, April 4th. The polls will be open from 7 to 8 p.m. And so I encourage you to come out, exercise your right to vote. This is a privilege that people have died for. So please use it and make sure that we are creating a country of opportunity for all, not just a few. So thank you.
Well, that's it for us this afternoon, viewers. I'm Antonio Gonzalez, the host of Strategy Sessions, signing off from this 8-episode voter education series. Remember to vote on April the 4th in the CD34 special election, basically Greater Northeast Los Angeles. And remember, Wendy Carrillo, the anti-Trump the Trump buster candidate in this special election on April 4th.
All right, we do a fist bump.